Welcome to Dr. Tarazi's Math Site. This video is one of a series covering the released Ohio State math questions between 2017 and 2023. Geometry makes up almost one-third of the test questions. Standard 8.G.2. Understand congruence and similarity. Please pause and read the details of this standard.
Hello and welcome. Here is what you need to know before we get to the examples.
Before watching this video, it's highly recommended to watch the previous video, Matching Parts of Congruent Figures. Here's the link to it. Example 1.
In this example, you have these two figures, and they are shown, and it says here which sequence of transformations shows that the quadrilaterals are congruent. And he's giving you options: reflect, and then translate, reflect across the y-axis, and then translate, rotate, translate. So we have several options here. So first of all, let's see what happens if I reflect EFGH across the y-axis. I would get this figure, and obviously this figure will not match this. If I slide it down, or if I slide it down, it will not match this figure. So this first option is reflect across the y-axis and then translate the image 5 units to the right. That will take it right here. So that's not an option right here. Now reflect EFGH across the y-axis, which we did, then translate the image 5 units down. So when you translate this down, this will not match this for sure. This is a parallel to the x-axis. This is not. So that's also not a good option. Now we have two options. Is rotate EFGH, excuse me, 90 degrees clockwise about the origin, and then translate 5 units to the right, rotate. So let's see what happens with the rotation. Again, you need to see the previous video. I have explanation about all these rotations and translations. Okay, here what I did is I rotated EFGH clockwise about the origin, clockwise, going to the right. Here's the rule for rotation 90 degrees clockwise. So X and Y changes positions here, and since we are going to the right, the coordinate that is going to the right changes its sign. So here are EFGH. These are the coordinates of EFGH, and these are the coordinates of X, Y, Z, W. Now these look very the same, exactly size and shape. So now we have options here. Either what is telling me here, rotate, we did, and then translate the image 5 units to the right. If you take this one to the right 5 units, will not match this. So that's not an option either. Look at the last option here, rotate EFGH 90 degrees clockwise about the origin, and then translate the image 5 units down. If I translate this 5 units down, it will match this 100%, and this is the answer to the question.
Example 2. Again,
a reminder, every time you see these pictures, you can pause and solve it on your own, and then come back and check your answer. Here you have two triangles, QRS, congruent to TUV. So these two are congruent. They see this, they look the same. Which sequence of transformations will map triangle QRS onto congruent triangle TUV? What can I do to this triangle to get it to match match this triangle, to go on top of this triangle, onto this triangle? So they have given me some options here. Translate up 1 unit, then reflect across the x-axis. Translate up 1 unit, and then reflect across the y-axis. If you reflect this across the y-axis, it will be here. It will never be here. So that's not really an option. Here again, there is translate down 1 unit, then reflect across the y-axis. No, for sure these two are not good answers. Obviously, you have to bring this down 1 unit and then reflect across the x-axis. So if I bring this down 1 unit, I get this triangle. Now, if I reflect across the x-axis, it will be on top of this triangle.
Example 3.
A transformation is to be performed on a figure. Which transformation will not produce a congruent figure? So first of all, notice the question is will not. So now if I read this, reflection across the x-axis, that will produce a congruent figure. So that's not a good answer. Translation will always produce a congruent figure. Rotation will produce a congruent figure. Only dilation that will not produce a congruent figure. Dilation always make the figure smaller or bigger, so it will not produce a congruent figure.
Example 4.
Quadrilateral ABCD is shown. ABCD is translated to create another quadrilateral EFGH. What is the length in units of side EH? The easiest thing to do with questions like this, let's put EFGH around. Now, what is the length in unit of EH? Very straightforward. The answer is 8.
Example 5.
A sequence of transformations is applied to triangle CDE to create another triangle C prime, D prime, E prime. Select all the sequences of transformations that could be applied to triangle CDE2 so that these two triangles now, CDE and C prime, D prime, E prime, are congruent. And you just read each one of this and see what happens. So the first thing to notice, select all. So there will be more than one good answer here. So let's see the first one, a clockwise rotation of 90 degrees and then a dilation. Dilation messes up the size of the triangle, so that does not work. Okay. A dilation, as soon as you see a dilation, it will not produce a congruent figure. A clockwise rotation degree and then a reflection across the y-axis. That would work. Translation 5 units down and then a dilation. Again, if you see a dilation, that would not work. That would not produce a congruent figure. A translation 5 units down and then a clockwise rotation, that would work. A reflection across the y-axis and then a translation 5 units down, yeah, that would work too. So again, here you need to pay attention. Dilation will not produce a congruent figures. It will produce a similar figure, but not congruent.
Thank you for watching. If you would like to have a copy of the PowerPoint presentation, please leave your email address in the comments section, and we will be happy to email you a copy.
Thank you, and see you soon.
Thank you for watching. More videos to come. Please subscribe.